Afternoon. Today is Thursday, February 7th, and class is back in session. I am Michael Carls, brought to you by Coachella Sports and Entertainment Stadium Authority, and I am here live at Big Rock Golf and Pub, enjoying the beautiful day. They have a great car show going on right now, so if you want to go ahead and come on down, check it out, see some beautiful cars in the parking lot, see some out on the 18th fairway, go ahead and come on down to Big Rock Golf and Pub. Get yourself a drink, get yourself some food. It's a great time down here right now, great atmosphere, great day in the valley in general. So let's go ahead and recap some games from yesterday. We have some girls soccer scores to announce. Division 4, Palm Desert rolls over A.B. Miller 5-1 behind the hat trick of Malia Falk. So congrats to Palm Desert for moving on. Also in Division 4, Bloomington did beat La Quinta 1-0, so that will end the season for the Blackhawks. Great job to them too, making it to the playoffs. Next, we have Division 5. Division 5, Cathedral City beats Rialto 1-0, and Coachella Valley beats Anaheim 2-0. So both teams in Division 5 will be moving on to the next round. Division 6, New View Bridge squeaks past Palm Springs 4-3. Division 7, Desert Mirage beats St. Pius 6-1. And also Division 7, Desert Hot Springs beats Buckley 1-0. So congrats to all the girls there. Congrats to the teams that are moving on. And congrats to the teams that had excellent seasons but just didn't quite finish with a championship. We do have some boys scores for tonight, some games to check out, and we also have some basketball tonight. A lot on the slate tonight, actually, now that I look at it. We're first going to start off with boys soccer games for this evening. Division 3, La Quinta will be traveling to Desert Mirage, kind of inter-valley game going on there, so if you want to go ahead and check that out, it's at Desert Mirage today. Division 4, Cathedral City will be traveling to Canyon in Anaheim. Division 5, Palm Springs will be going to Desert Hot Springs at 5 p.m. This evening. That is also another inter-valley matchups to check out. Also in Division 5, Coachella Valley will be traveling to Gary, which is in Pomona. And Division 6, Pomona will be coming to Rancho Mirage. So go ahead and cheer on your boys and go check out those games. Girls basketball for this evening. 3A, El Toro is coming to La Quinta tonight. Game will be at 7 o'clock this evening. 4A, Xavier Prep will be traveling to St. Pius at 7 p.m. 4-2A, Rancho Mirage is traveling to Lucerna. And Coachella Valley is traveling to Maranatha. They will be actually playing at 6 p.m. this evening. Also in 4-2A, excuse me, Compton will be coming to Palm Desert. Palm Desert is hosting Compton this evening. The DEL champs will be looking to continue their season. Boys basketball this evening, we had a special one tonight. Most boys basketball games will be tomorrow night, but tonight we do have Palm Springs hosting Heritage in a 3A matchup. Indians looking to continue their season as they were also the DEL champs. So I would definitely want to check out the Indians tonight. Girls water polo, Division 4, La Quinta is hosting Bonita, looking to roll through them and roll through the entire Division 4 onto a championship, hopefully, for the Blackhawks. Division 6, Palm Springs will be traveling to Jurupa Valley, and hopefully the Indians can come out of there with a victory. And those are our scores and games for tonight. And as we look at some other news around the valley for our prep sports, did see that last week this was notified that Palm Desert football will be playing Odessa Permian this upcoming football season for their preseason schedule. And as we know, Odessa Permian is a school from Texas, most notably known for being the school represented in Friday Night Lights from that 1988 season. And that's great for the Valley. Let's just pump the brakes a little bit when we talk about the Friday Night Lights thing, because it's not like Palm Desert is playing Boobie Miles and Mike Winchell, okay? So let's just relax right there. But it is excellent for the Valley to have one of our Valley schools go off into another state, especially Texas high school football being one of the best, if not the best, in the entire country. And so if the Aztecs can have a great showing, I know that will be great for the other Valley teams, especially teams in the DEL who want to beat Palm Desert, and that will help boost their resume if Palm Desert can have a good showing against Odessa Permian. I know they are a 2-6A division team in Texas. The more number of A's you have next to your name, the better your teams are. So it's going to be a great test. Odessa is a veer option running team, heavy run game team. Have a bunch of guys. I was looking at their stats a little bit. Had a couple of guys over 1,000 yards and had like almost 6 guys over 500 yards. So that is ridiculous run numbers for a high school football team. And Palm Desert, too, likes to run the football also. So that is going to be a fun matchup to see, almost like a slug-it-out type game. So props to Palm Desert and Coach McCombs for getting that for his football players and helping them gain that type of experience. Because it is, especially if you are you want to continue playing on in college, you have to travel quite a bit. And so it is kind of difficult to be able to take a plane to a different place and then be able to play the next day, if not the day after that, right? And so, like, getting your mind right and being able to put yourself in position to be successful in that game is something that you have to adjust to. So I'm glad that those kids are going to be able to get that experience. And we are getting closer and closer to spring sports kicking off, and so today we are going to check out the newly minted DEL baseball division. And so we're going to check out the teams. We're going to rank them just by first glance, almost like a way too early type ranking. And since games are starting as soon as Saturday, we got to get on it. So we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll look at those rankings. And I'm also going to piggyback off of yesterday's talk about being a student athlete, and I have some more tips that are actually more in depth and tools that you can use that you may not learn in school and that you may not know that you had to learn as a student athlete. So we are going to take this recess, and this is Clahs. And we are back in class. I am Michael Carls, and we are brought to you by Clahs Sports and Entertainment Stadium Authority. I am here live at Big Rock Golf and Pub, looking at the beautiful Coachella Valley skies. Got some beautiful cars out here for their car show. It's looking great. Just order some Big Rock and riblets, so can't wait to nom all those up. And it's a great day. We're going to talk some preseason because it's new, DEL baseball. And as we talk DEL baseball, we want to remind you the DVL winner last year was Palm Desert. They did go undefeated in DVL play last year, 12-0. However, La Quinta did steal the show, being the Division IV CIF champions. Even though they did come in second place in DVL, they did end up winning Division IV CIF championship. So congrats to the Blackhawks, and I know that they're going to be looking to make some more noise in this new DEL league. And so as we take a look at this DEL league with our 6 teams, I am going to power rank them just based off of what I believe to be the best teams so far. And once we get into play, these rankings obviously will change, and we'll be able to see what teams are in the hunt for playoff spots and what teams are pretenders. Okay, so I first want to go over number 1 team. No surprise here is the Division I Palm Desert Aztecs. Just since I was playing the Aztecs, I've always been good at baseball. Coach Salazar is one of the best in the Valley at coaching baseball players up and getting them ready for the next level. They always have a bunch of guys that are looking to play at the college level, and they all are very baseball savvy, and they know the game and understand it, and that's really helpful when making big playoff pushes. Next, I do have the Division IV CIF reigning champ, La Quinta Blackhawks in second. Even though they did win their division, it is difficult to go up against a team that is 3 divisions higher than you and try to compete, especially when those teams are always competing against higher level of play, right? So if La Quinta or any of these other DEL teams can steal a win against the Aztecs, that would be huge for their playoff picture. Third, see, this is when it gets it starts to get tricky here, and you start to not know what players are coming back or who has graduated and not, and going through these. Third, I have the Division III Shadow Hills Knights with Coach Coco Crisp, as we know, former Major League Baseball player. I believe he's going to be able to get those boys right and get them competitive and get them into a position to possibly steal a share of that DEL title and maybe make some moves in that Division III. Division III is one of the more difficult divisions in baseball, so it will be interesting to see what the Knights do this year. Fourth, I have Division V Xavier Prep Saints. I have the Saints fourth, but I can see them as a team really making some noise and shaking things up in this DEL, letting them know we have some young guys that can play some baseball. Just right off of the top of my head is freshman Jordan Ruiz, batting .427 last year, is just ridiculous as a freshman into high school baseball, playing varsity, and leads his team by example. Great kid, great football player also, by the way. So it's going to be fun to watch the Saints and see what they do under Coach Clark. Next, we have fifth is Rancho Mirage, who are also in Division V. Be very curious to see what Rancho Mirage does and how they play in this new DEL division here. And yeah, I could see them going either way. They're kind of the dark horse that people don't really know. Didn't really play too many DEL teams last year, so I'm very curious to see how they are going to compete this year. And last, I have Division V, Palm Springs Indians. Palm Springs has been on kind of a tough train. for baseball last couple of years, looking to get back into the mix of things and hopefully restore some of their playoff runs that they had in the early 2010s. And so, like I said, at the end of the month, we will rank players and see who to look out for. I want to give these guys a couple of games to get under their belt and get into the season before I give them rankings and, nervous about this and I'm not ranked higher than that. Let the boys play, and then once we get closer to some Valley matchups and some DEL play, that's when we'll really let you know who to look out for and the better players. And so those are our baseball rankings this year, and I want to be able to rank or give you an outlook on each of these spring sports coming up, so that way you have an idea of what teams to look out for, what teams are on the rise, what teams may be on the fall, and then that way we can have an idea and check out some of these teams and some of these spring sports. And so piggybacking off of yesterday, we were talking about what it means to be a student athlete, and I gave like a broad description of that entire thing and the entire process and all of that. And today I wanted to share some basic life skills that you may or may not learn in school, but are super vital to a student athlete and being a successful student athlete, whether it is in high school or in college. So these skills can be applied. You can start applying them today, and you will see a difference in your overall life as a student athlete. Okay, and some of these we did touch a little bit, but I do want to dig deeper at them. So the first one I have here is time management, right? It's always so difficult. There's always never enough time in a day to get things done and doing everything. So it's huge to be able to manage your time and manage what needs to be done first and prioritizing those things, right? So like I said yesterday, during the week, I don't have time to fool around and play games and do all of that. I got practice, and then I have my schoolwork, and I got to make sure I eat dinner, and then I got to make sure that I get enough sleep, right, to make sure I'm functional for the next day, right? So it's a wash, rinse, repeat type deal when it comes to being a student athlete, of being on a schedule and being able to manage that time and make sure you have spots for everything that needs to get done. Next, I have this one is kind of tough, and we don't really think about it too much, especially if we're ones that don't have jobs, but we do have like allowances that we get from parents, or maybe we do have jobs and we need to start doing this. It's managing our money, right? Money management. Am I able to stretch a dollar longer than it should, right? I need to be able to understand that I can't just buy every single video game that I see or that I want, or I go out and eat every single day, because eventually that's going to add up. And so especially when you get to college and you have to you may have to make a choice of, ooh, well, I only have $10 left for the rest of the month, and there's 2 weeks left in the month. I probably can't go out to eat as much as I normally would like to, or maybe I need certain notebooks for this, and then now I can't go out and have fun or do something else with that money instead, right? So not just money management, but it's also being able to compromise and make choices that will help you save money, right? We always need to save money, especially being student athletes. It's a full-time job almost, especially when you get to college. So it's going to be difficult to be able to have a job and play a sport. So it's very vital to manage your money. Third, this one you definitely can learn in school, and I advise people to start doing it right now, is writing with proper grammar. Being able to speak is one thing. Being able to write it and write emails and fluent letters and things of that nature are a completely different ball of wax, right? So make sure that you're paying attention in your English classes and that you're using proper grammar, not just like slang, like yeah, huh, whatever, dope, sick, raw, you know. Okay, so use normal grammar when you're in schoolwork, or you're writing a resume, or you're writing a letter, or talking to adults, anything of that nature. So make sure that you're using that you're using proper grammar. And the easiest way to start, or to like get a leg up on it, text messages. Start texting properly, or like using proper grammar in your text messages. You'll definitely see a boost in your essays and schoolwork and your writing in that if you start practicing that now. Fourth, this one is a big one, and people really struggle. They struggle with this one, and this one goes hand in hand with time management, and it's punctuality, right? Are you punctual? Are you able to be on time? Are you where you say you're going to be at that time, right? So like if a coach says a practice is at 6 a.m., are you the one that's going to be sprinting into practice at 6:01, 6:02, or are you going to be the guy that is there ready to go in the locker room 6:45, and I can leisurely walk out there and be on the field at 5:50, right? So make sure that we are punctual and that we are not making excuses for other people, and that is the reason why we're late or not. Okay. If as a coach, if I hear a kid say, well, it was mom and dad, they were late, pick me this, that, picking me up and this. Okay, one time, okay, I get it. But if I hear it multiple times, now you're throwing your parents under the bus. Now as a coach, like, do I need to like go speak to your parents and ask them like, hey, is it like an issue to get him there at that time, or her, or is your schedule kind of, do I need to fix things? Because we don't want to put any more added issues on your parents, right? So if there's something that we need to fix, then we'll by all means do it. But if you're using it as an excuse for yourself, and you're not telling your parents the correct time that you need to be at places, then that is something that's on you, and that has to do with your punctuality, right? So make sure that you're not the kid that's always late. Be the one that's on time. And there's a famous football coach, Tom Coughlin, in his football offices, he actually changes the clocks to be, I think it's like 10 or 20 minutes earlier than what they normally are, right? So then that makes sure that everybody is on time, and we're not rolling in right when it's 6 a.m. when we need to be there at an earlier time, right? Okay, so be punctual. Next I have is being personable, and this one is this one's very interesting because it's not something that you normally, that's not something that you would normally think about, but it is telling as a student athlete. That tasty water, so crisp once it hits the lips. Okay, so being personable, right? It's easy for us when we're around our friends and we're around people that we're comfortable with, for us to be ourselves and talk and joke and have fun and be that person that we normally are. Now, when you're around people that you're not normally, it's super easy to just be quiet and stay to yourself and not bother anyone. So I say all this to say that if you are out and around people at school that you're comfortable with, and you act one way, and you're the rock star student athlete at school and this and that, and it's awesome, but then you are in the classroom and you're just like this mute and quiet, and you don't answer questions from the teacher, and you don't communicate or interact with any of your other classmates. It's kind of tough as to be not just liked by the student body, but it's kind of tough for people to want to get to know you or approach you, because as a student athlete, other students may be intimidated to come up to you, and those people may want to be your friends and want to get to know you. And if you're not an approachable person, or if you're not personable, you may be missing out on some relationships that may be really beneficial to you or to everyone around you. Okay, so don't be afraid to be personable and get out of your comfort zone and meet new people and talk to everyone. Be friends with everyone. Next, this one is big, and parents are going to enjoy this one too. Handling your own problems. Okay, so as soon as you are moving on in your life and you don't have mom and dad hanging around you every single minute, you're going to have to take care of those things. And if you don't take care of your own problems, they're just going to fester and get bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, mom and dad aren't always going to be there for you. Your relatives, your loved ones aren't always going to be there to bail you out. And you're going to have to learn real quick to take initiative on your own life and be able to handle your own problems and take care of them yourself. And eventually, if you feel better as a young person growing up, and you become more mature when you start handling those problems and are able to sift through them and handle them properly. Next, this one doesn't really apply too soon to high school athletes, but it will once you're applying to colleges and doing that whole thing and all of those documents that go along with it. But it's updating information, right? So if I'm somebody that works quite a bit, I got to make sure that I update my resume and make sure I have all of that taken care of, and that way I can get a job properly. But also, as a student athlete, I got to make sure, okay, are all my applications done for the schools that I want? Did I turn in all the SAT and ACT scores? Did I fill out all the FAFSA information that's needed for me to get financial aid? Do they have all of the proper information that I have for myself on file, right? Making sure to check all of those boxes and making sure all of that information is up to date. Did I just move recently and now I got to change all of my addresses, right? Is my information for my bank all correct, right? Making sure that you're on top of all of those things. Yes, our parents may be taking care of that at the moment, but it is nice to be able to know what you're looking at, and eventually you're going to have to take care of that yourself. These last few are pretty, they're probably some of the most important, but some that we forget about the most. And it's first is food, right? But when I say food, yes, we always want to eat and make sure that we're not hungry and we're getting all the things that we need. But it's, as a student athlete, it's eating the right food. Okay, it's not necessarily always going to get that cheeseburger from No Free Ads, Mickey D's, and going and getting the bacon crisp and this and that, and make sure that we're putting in the proper foods that we need to be productive student athletes, not just in class, but also once we're done with class, being out at practice or for games, right? Got to make sure that I'm eating properly and eating the right foods that are going to help me compete at my best level. And then going hand in hand with food is got to make sure I'm getting my rest, got to make sure I'm recharging, getting sleep, making sure I'm getting enough sleep. I'm not staying up late playing Fortnite or on the phone with my girlfriend or this or that, okay? All of those things can wait, okay? Don't ever risk sleep if you don't need to, okay? Get some sleep, get your rest, get your 8 hours if that's what you need. But make sure that we're getting our rest and we're recharging our batteries every day. And finally, and this one is that it can be applicable to places and people. And I need to utilize my resources. And by utilizing my resources, I mean, as an example, if I'm somebody that needs complete quiet when doing my schoolwork or studying or that, well, maybe I should use the library and be at the library to do all my work. Or if I'm somebody that is struggling in math or I'm struggling in a subject and I need help with it, I need to utilize my resources by finding my tutors or go to teachers that can help me, and not being afraid to do those things or not being embarrassed to do those things. There's nothing wrong with getting help in school or getting help in practice or getting help here or asking for things here. One of the biggest issue is nobody can say no to you if you don't ask, right? So just ask, and what's the worst that could happen? If they say no, okay, well, you're still in the same position you were when you started, right? So just ask. You never know who's willing to help and who wants to help. And knowing that you need help is half the battle too. So don't be afraid to utilize resources that are around you and your school. And those are just some basic life skills that'll definitely help you be a better student athlete, and it'll help you stay on track if you're trying to pursue being a student athlete at the next level, whether college or junior college, right? And so we're going to wrap up this edition of Class today. We're hoping to get next week, we are hoping to get some guests, some coaches and players. So if you have anybody that would love to be on the show, don't be afraid to reach out. And if you love what we're talking about and you want other people to see it, or you want other students to see it, go ahead and share, like, subscribe, comment, do the whole thing, all of that. Or if there's something you don't like, tell me that too. No feedback is ever will not be taken as constructive criticism, and I just want this show to be able to grow and you guys enjoy what you're seeing and enjoy what you're watching. So feedback is much appreciated. And we're still just rocking and rolling. This is only our second week of class. So we have rocking and rolling Big Rock Golf and Pub. No pun intended yet again. But for real, for class, let us know what you like, what you don't like, and what you want to see, and all of those other things to help us be successful. And as I say, Big Rock Golf and Pub, I have this little flyer here. It's the Cars, Stars, and Rock and Roll. Looks like it is the car show that's going on February 8th through the 10th. We have a bunch of beautiful cars here. Looks like first one that comes up is a 67 Corvette, beautiful. 2016 Rolls Royce, and a 1970 Hemi Barracuda, just to name a few. And these are, it is an auction too, so if you want to go ahead and bid on these beautiful beasts, you can. And it's bunch of stuff, 75% sell-through rate. You can bid online, live rock concerts. The event will be here at Big Rock Golf and Pub, so go ahead and check it out. We do also have some other stuff going on here. Ooh, there's a bunch going on at Big Rock Golf and Pub throughout this entire Cars, Stars, and Rock and Roll classic car auction. Some of the, let's see, so today is Thursday, so it looks like that the celebrities that will be showing up today are Dan and Laura Dotson from Storage Wars. I watch that show. Storage Wars is dope. That's the guy that does he's the actual auctioneer guy with the super fast voice and gets it going. So that's pretty cool. We also have coming up this weekend, they are giving away some golf packages. We do have an AC/DC tribute band. Lots of stuff going on. Bunch of memorabilia. Bunch of great live concerts. Another one I see on here is a Fleetwood Mac tribute band. Good stuff. There's good. Oh, even an Elvis tribute. This is awesome. So if you like car shows, you like concerts, you like good food, you like having fun, I don't see why you shouldn't be here. Cars, Stars, and Rock and Roll, February 8th through the 10th at Big Rock Golf and Pub. So go ahead and check that out. And we are going to close out class today. I am Michael Carls, brought to you by Coachella Sports and Entertainment, Stadium Authority, and class is dismissed.